Everyone's least favourite Australian barbarian, Jaden Braden Hayden Raiden O'Caden, wakes on a rocky hill crop to realise normal was but a dream compared to this waking nightmare of unpopularity. Part 2 of our No Town Barbarian challenge. Being poked over and over by a horny gang, getting easily distracted, on epic missions finding scrolls of identity, getting armour broken at the worst times, and some desperate but epic manoeuvres against Sanctuary's very worst. So look, we're back. Sorry to everybody for taking so long to get this video out, but it took a hell of a long time to do, I'll be honest. And yeah, I am so sick of killing these guys in Act 5. But I did it for you guys, and you can have the pleasure of me speeding through a lot of the footage. Now, I knew I was pretty underleveled, and I needed to completely change the way I was going to play Nightmare. There's no way I'm going to suffer the many, many broken weapons of normal difficulty. But before we get into that, let's sort out this belt situation, currently broken, and to be thrown like fast fashion. So what level are we? 32. It's not great. You really want to be about level 40, but I found these two pretty glorious war javelins, both ethereal, which might actually be fantastic. I'm not quite sure. Some decent stats there. And to be honest, both of them are actually very good. And annoyingly, and again, I'm just trying to stock up on some identify scrolls here from the ghosts. And my weapon broke. Fortunately, leap attack, you do actually need a weapon to use it. So I had to resort while getting slashed at to my leap attack. And then, I mean, this looks like a platformer to be proud of here. And space. Yeah, this was, for someone who likes hoarding, and honestly, I will basically pick up everything and anything and just put it in the stash. I normally start with a fresh, like completely fresh stash for every character. So I've got plenty of room to put all those useless runes and gems that can gather dust, and yet another inventory that will never be touched. Looking at some rings here, this is a good one. To be honest, actually, with some of these, it gets to the point where if it's a normal item, maybe I can't be bothered. If I'm finding them in certain locations, I mean, this is Act 2, normal. What's the best that ring's going to have? I'll be honest. That's a rhetorical question, because I know some of you know. And here I am on my throne of pain. And of course, most of my inventory is about to break at this point. Resistor looking good. One durability left on my heavy gloves here that I crafted with that crushing blow. It might be time to say goodbye to them. But let's hold on to them. I know many people were critical of the fact I wasn't using the rune recipes to repair my equipment. This video will show you why that might have been a good thing. Without too many spoilers, I must have run the Countess 200 to 300 times. I honestly lost count in this run. Luckily, you don't have to watch all of those. Nice little helm here as well. Anything with repair durability. It's just incredible. And look at this. It's actually pretty good. It gave me food for thought on whether I'm making a mistake with my plan for this build. Once I get enough levels, of course. The reason why I'm getting as much experience as I am is because I'm really not sure how effective the build I'm going to go for is going to be. And those javelins are going to be quite crucial. Oh, lovely little insta-kill. And it's the rows we're looking for. The Orts, kind of useful. The Nefs there, not useful. 3 towels make a row, as your mother once taught you. Another towel there. I killed her a lot of times. Eventually, the old armor broke, and then you have to use one of the rows that you've painstakingly farmed up just to keep farming. I don't really need to wear armor on normal at this point because I'm a high enough level. And then you get the fun of pissing around with your inventory, which I had to do quite a lot. But yeah, let's repair the old gloves here. It's just inventory management at this point. Found a nice amulet here. Oh, it's terrible. He said it was nice. So some of the clips here are a little out of order. Some of the clips at the beginning are actually closer to the end. This is almost like a compilation of all the runs that I did. I did a huge more runs just in this part of Act 5. Just killing Eldritch as many times as I could. And it was at that point, once I had a stock of scrolls, once I had those 2 epic javelins, that I felt ready and able and willing, not willing, reluctant at this point, to start screaming my head off. I imagine he's probably quite habitual. Oh! Someone was mentioning, sorry, I'm getting silly already. It's getting serious, clearly. But let's just tuck ourselves up in this little corner here. We can have a look at the women. It's probably going to get us in more trouble being here. But it's super miserable outside. It's actually really hot in the UK at the moment, by the way. But it's April, and it's about the hottest on record. One of you guys, German, mentioned, quite a few guys are German. So while I go through the equipment here, you can just have a quick, you can hear me rant and maybe phase me out. I'm mentioning how the German voice actor, the Barbarian, just really doesn't suit him at all. So I'd be quite interested to try that out actually, see what it's like in different languages. I know that someone did a run, one of my guys on my Discord mentioned that someone did a run in a different language, and it was like trying to identify items by the sound they make when they drop, which sounds quite good. Got some decent boots there, and these gauntlets as well. A little bit of magic find that I've had here. Not great. I'd rather keep these. Crushing blow ones I've got already. Heavy belt. I knew that was going to be terrible. Fast hit recovery. I'm not sure if I really need it. I don't really plan on getting hit, I'll be honest. He says. Nice little small charm there, bit of life. Actually got some Franciscas. Do you know, I've never actually said that out loud before. Oh, terrible amulet. But throwing weapons, what it's all about. Oh, actually pretty pleased with that cold one there. I'm so pleased they gave it to me again. It's not enough poison damage, really. Yeah, chuck it. Chuck. Yeah. I only need one. I prefer the look of that one. I'll keep the poison one just because I don't know why. The Diggler. It's good for any build that needs that extra block and just resists on an offhand. I do not need it. Oh, we're done. I've actually got 4 scrolls left over. That's not a lot of scrolls considering how much time and energy I've spent getting no experience. Actually, talking of experience, we're very close to a level up. So let's take these old men out. Permanently. Permanently. I should have done that more, Arnie, sorry. Let's take these old men out. Permanently. And we're level 40. That feels like it should be enough. So look, I went on everybody's favourite skill tree calculator. I say everyone's favourite, but I looked at throwing mastery, and actually, even at level 15, chance not to consume quantity 92%. That's fine. So we only really need 15 levels, but we could easily max this out. So here I am on a bridge, drinking like a real hobo, and I found this, just wedged in between some rocks. It's the only way I could really do this. I don't want to do it in town. But we absolve ourselves. No more alcohol. It's time to get on a quest. Now these war javelins actually barely require any strength or dexterity to use. I'm going to be lugging that strength maul around. So double throw. Again, a skill I've never used before. So this should be interesting. Interesting might be the operative word. And what we're really after, I think within combat masteries, is just this throwing mastery. So let's have a look. So we're getting crit chance. The more that crit chance goes up. Oh, actually, let's just get a lot of these like passive skills. Natural resistance, pretty much my favourite skill, by the way. Throwing mastery, chance to pit. So chance not to consume 46. What? 50? 51. I've been lied to again. Chance not to consume quantity 51%. And then your chance to crit. Oh my god. Well, this is Spanner. Let's get the usual 3. I'm not going to bother with that. I showed you once where I used fine item. It was so frustrating. I'm sure if you really like maxed it and had extra equipment. I'm really not sure what to do about this bloody throwing mastery skill here. So we've maxed it out. It's not 100% chance not to consume. We're going to have to put some points in double throw because we need the attack rating. Because I need not to miss. Oh, let's just see what this is like. Gem Shrine. Oh, how depressing. There's Shrine as well. That's quite cool. I remember it was big news once that my friend found as his very first item. The Arctic Belt. I wasn't that impressed. Yeah, okay, so the damage is actually pretty good. I may as well use this. Again, why am I carrying that around? I think I might carry those gems around for the whole... I can't remember. I'm sure there's a recipe, but it got long forgotten. Skill Shrine, this is pretty good. So actually, with double throw up now, over level 10, we've got 22 in throwing mastery, 56%. I'm not sure. Maybe our best plan is just to make this a 20-minute video running to all the bosses and killing them really quickly. Yeah, you know, it's not going to happen. So the women hate me. My many crimes. Oh, damn, that's a pretty sizable hit. Maybe I'll need my battle orders on. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will already have noticed clerical error when it came to allocating some of my stats at this point. But we're not all perfect. And then there's me, who's sub-perfect by some high margin. But if you wanted to watch me for meta builds, then you're going to be watching me for a very long time. And not see any, because I'm not that good at this game, I don't think. But I love it, maybe as much as you do. Yeah, and this is when I realise, oh no, we need to quickly put some stats in. The panic stat there, vitality, let's just keep running. Maybe we can get around the corner here, we'll be okay. Definitely won't see me here. So we need 75 strength to use a shield. Seems like a high investment, but I've got to... I believe in my heart that a lot of these throwing weapons actually do need strength. Mainly dexterity. But I can't really ignore vitality because I'm going to be stuck in a room with Duriel at one point. Yeah, 120 seems about fair. I haven't left a lot here for dexterity. I think let's just... I need to put more in because I'm just going to miss otherwise. That's not enough. But I'm being quite cautious here with how often I'm throwing. I'm kind of getting a feel to it. There's a chance to pierce based on throwing mastery as a skill, which is quite cool. It actually looks like this is doing pretty... I mean, these are super slow, guys. Some very well-dressed skeletons here. Stock up on potions. I don't feel like fine potion is going to be necessary. I'm willing to be proved wrong. Well, I'm not. I'd rather not be proved wrong, but I think we'll probably find enough from the heroes and stuff that we'll be killing. The loot is generally so much better on Nightmare in terms of quantity, so I think we'll be okay. A lot of the issue is going to be running out of inventory space, depending on how many of these ranged weapons I need to hold on to. Holding to that strength maul, I mean that's a lot of slots being held with that. But I do think for some bosses, just to open with a crushing blow, it's going to be really important. I'm learning here, although we do some decent damage, kind of need some better mobility. And it was actually in that area that I thought we're definitely going to need leap and leap attack at some point. An old massage parlour there, covered in dried massage oil and blood. Now, a lot of this is muscle memory, so I'm thinking, where's Treehead? I need to kill him. But there's almost no point. A trip to Tristram, there might be... I mean, there's a lot of heroes there. Could be used for levelling, but I've just done a huge amount of levelling. I really want to get through Act 1 as quickly as I can. So let's zip through it. Super fast. And here I am. So fast. Some real pointless stuff. Wasting my scrolls. At some point, like, you just feel a desperate need to identify something just to see a change. I've got that throwing axe at the bat. I just think maybe I'm going to run out of mana. I've not got a huge amount of mana. Oh, I've got this slow weapons as well. I don't really know anything about throwing weapons at all. I don't think it's worth spending too much time worrying about it. I run across Agent Smith here. Normally I wouldn't bother. I'm confident. I mean, the hit points are okay. I've got good mobility. I've got pretty strong attack at this point. I'm probably semi-over-leveled for this part. Oh, absolutely destroyed. And a glorious reward. Wonder where he kept that. Oh, and everyone's favourite area, the jail. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. Now, normally the jail is just a pain because it's a miserable experience just before the catacombs. The last thing we need is a level that looks like this just before we're about to do a very similar looking level. To me, it's a real oversight in the design of Act 1. It just seems like a real shame, like just dragging it out. They could have got rid of the jail. Or maybe just put a bit more of a linear area in. Spine spawn. That's the second. So at this point, okay, I never do this in my videos. I wish I'd done it from the first video I'd ever done. Just record some of the names of the baddest creatures. So let's make a top 10 as we go through this. Hopefully there's 2 with cool names. Because I'm not writing down, what is his name? Rust Touch the Tainted. Not cool, dude. Should not have touched it. I don't know how you got that name. I've got an idea. And it's frankly disgusting. Aren't you lucky that you can just scream through this quickly? I'll be honest, it wasn't the worst jail I've ever had in my life. The worst jail experience I've ever heard of. Because when you got ranged weapons, especially when they're caged, it feels a little cruel. Storm Feast. And he's lightning as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He's going on the list. He's not as cool as Spine Spawn. That's really good. But he definitely deserves a place. Floating a lot of potions. That's good. Healthy place to be. I'm not super concerned by the idea of my mother-in-law at this point. I think she'll be manageable. I am extremely concerned about Duriel, as you can imagine. Even Mephisto. Just because of that aggression. And it's not, even getting through the council could be tough. But the damage at this point, yeah, looking good. Down to 55 javelins. I noticed, I might experiment later on, it took me a while during this to realise. But the counter on the like throwing skill, double throw, will tell you how much of the lowest quantity you've got of your 2 kind of throwing weapons you've got. So you can always kind of get an idea of how many you've got left. Trust me, there are places I'm going to run out. Nice little scroll there. I definitely want to do just the standard run. And I'll be honest, Cathedral really doesn't do it for me anymore. I mean, I love the area. I love the design. It doesn't have the same kick. The last video I did, the like 1 health, 1 mana video, where I did it with the darkness mod, just has absolutely ruined this area now. Look how good it looked. Really reminds me of maybe like screenshots of original Diablo 1 when they were trying to show it off. Man, it looks so cool. Really looks like the cathedral from Tristram. But very, very like cool aesthetic. Like almost like purpley. I don't know how to describe it. If you can describe that to me, there's no reward, but put it in the comments because I will be eternally grateful. Of that kind of just aesthetic. Man, it hits me in the nostalgia feels. Just maybe it was like when I first discovered what Diablo was, all those many moons ago. I think it was on the back of. I think my friend had bought Warcraft 2, and it was maybe it was like on a CD or something. I don't think Diablo was. I think it was like a CD with like videos of some of the upcoming Blizzard games. And it had some like screenshots. It didn't even have like a video of Diablo. Maybe it had like the intro cinematic in a kind of form. But then it had some screenshots afterwards, and one of them really, the cathedral. I think it's like maybe a wider shot of the cathedral in game. just looks amazing. Anyway, I've been rambling until I've had a bit to drink at this point. Yeah, it's not going to get better, but it's definitely going to get worse. Ice spell. Yep, I like it. Ice spell. The fact he has no ice spell. He's really sold to his friends the fact that he's fire enchanted and shoots lightning. What's a good name? Ice spell. Yeah, definitely worthy of a place. Nice to actually get a level up as well. Natural resistance. The problem is when you open the tab up and you see that, you're like, oh, do you know what? I would love a bit more resistances for free. And that is a lot for level 2. I'm not using my shouts that often. They just only last about 30 seconds at this level, at level 1. So I'll be shouting as a skill only when I need to against bosses and stuff. So I've you can see I've got the kind of like shout war around me now. For as I get in here, I'm not too concerned about this room, to be honest, and neither should you be. But I would like to clear it because I'm going to be using this to dance my mother-in-law, hopefully to her death. Ooh, interesting. When you've got my luck, an IO rune is a pretty good one. Oh no. Viper Shifter the Howler. How do you get a name like that? Just moving vipers around. Just while getting stung. He's on the list. I think the backstory of Viper Shifter the Howler, as he moves vipers around and howls in pain. There's a lot of minions here. In many of my other runs, this would be an absolute pain. But actually, just enjoying the experience. And I mean that as in, I'm not necessarily enjoying throwing as much as I would have liked to have done. I think it could be a really good fun skill, but I also think Gloom Shield. Not sure if he deserves Gloom Shield. It's a bit depressing, isn't it? Okay, let's not get distracted. Okay, some comfortable kiting here. Taking some damage as well. She's quicker than she looks. She's also quite slow at the same time, if that makes sense. So I can't throw too many times. But I'm getting a few throws in. The danger of her getting too close isn't really the melee attack. It's just that she's more likely to cast her spells and hit me with them. So I'm quite incoherent. Had a very long day at work. Probably not conducive to the best commentary, but I really fancied a drink and the video's edited, so I'm just sorry again that guys you had to wait so long for this one. I had 2 misses there. I think we're okay in terms of javelin count, which to me is just an anxiety I don't need in this game. Like, the broken equipment is one thing, a manageable kind of burden. A lot of the time, maybe it's me getting older, but minimising aggravation in my life is very important. I'm getting a bit clumsy here as well. A little squeak of a mouse then. I hope I didn't step on him. Is that as bad as it looks? Oh dear, that is really bad. One of the things I found is without any magic find, you don't find any magic items almost at all. I mean, Great Axe Cleaver, there's nothing there I need. Maybe worth switching out some of these mana potions. 180 armor is pretty good, but... Oh, and the 30 fire resist is good as well. I don't hate it. What I will tell you is I spent a very long time, and in the words of the ancients, you should only take 7 breaths to make any decision. That's in the Hagakure? I've butchered that, whatever it is. But it's like the Code of the Samurai. And one of the things that really stood out to me was the idea of 7 breaths. And it should apply to loot in ARPGs. If you can't make the decision in 7 breaths, then just make any decision. But it's very easy to get paralysed by decisions. Finally got rid of that poison gem, by the way. Not gem. Charm. A lot of mana potions here as well. Do I need all those? Maybe we'll hold on to them just for a bit. 57, 75. So we're okay. But I'm still carrying the burden. It's really actually very unpleasant. One of the things I learned from the normal run, the normal like No Town run, is how unpleasant it is not having just a safe space. Because even when you think you've cleared stuff in the great outdoors, someone ends up just coming and interrupting you. And it's very uncomfortable not having somewhere you can just relax, just unburden from the previous act, take a breath. It's such a trope now of these kind of games, like having a town to come back to. But Diablo just did it so well. Like, you need a kind of port just to calm down, just to recuperate, think about things. That like town hub. I tell you did it really well. Dark Souls 2. A game that gets more flack than it deserves. It is an incredible game. Maybe limited by technology at the time more than anything. But the hub in that, Modulo is it, is incredible. Probably almost the best, to me, the best hub in any game. It's open. I don't know, something about it. The music. Anyway, what are we playing? We're playing Jaden Braden's. We're playing with Jaden Braden's life here. So let's get it serious. Very, very, very busy area. Uzvex. Yeah. Actually, Cold Enchanted was probably the bane here. What I found is, it's great when you can run away, maybe get position, but as soon as you're chilled, you've just got no ability to fire. Look how slow the attack speed is. It's super debilitating. And really dangerous. Especially since I've not got a huge amount of health. So the damage is good. And actually these flies might get in the way of some of these black raptors. Especially the minions are the ones I'm trying to avoid. I think it might be on Nightmare. But a lot of items, certainly on Hell, almost every creature has got some kind of elemental chance to hit. So archers, for instance, have got a chance to do cold damage. The dark archers, which makes them absolutely lethal in groups. But I found here, Dragon Shield. Oh my goodness. Do you know, I actually don't know what it is, and I'm super, super excited for it. I'm absolutely not the build for that Dragon Shield, but I'm really curious to see what it is. It's certainly one of the best drops we've found so far. Let's clear some space. Oh, it's ethereal as well. I actually really don't know what this is. Tiamat's Rebuke. Okay, this looks familiar. Oh wow, 3% chance to cut Hydra when struck. Oh my god, so this would be insane for... And it's got resistances. This would be really good. Other than the fact it's ethereal, this would be really, really good for my... maybe Punch Paladin. Even like a passive build. That when struck... Another nice little level up, cheeky level up, as we go through the Superior Act, Act 2. I've got to say, those that haven't played Path of Exile 2, I know the news is up and down as to how good or how bad it is. The Act 2 equivalent act in Path of Exile 2 took my breath away. The hub in that, Chef's Kiss, emo, it is so good, guys. Yeah, can't recommend it enough. When I'm not sure if it's out. It's like free to play yet, but definitely pick it up. Devil Eater. Are you kidding me? Devil Eater. That is a badass name. Okay, we should probably let's get that guy straight on the list, by the way. Devil Poison, Devil Eater. I think I prefer Devil Eater. Devil Eater sounds like a woman's name. The more I say it, not to take away from him, but oh, do you know what? 7 breaths. I really don't know what to do. I need leap. We need mobility, especially in this zone as well. As I've done with the previous build, I can't remember who it was. Who was my other Barbarian? Oh, it was probably No, it wasn't Jaden Braden. Do you know, it probably was Jaden Braden. And when I respect, I just didn't take it. Oh, I'm such an idiot. But that's when we discovered that Leap has a very short jump. But Leap Attack has a very big jump. And actually, yeah, thinking about the beginning of this video, I do remember having to leap like a little platformer in the Arcane Sanctuary when my weapon broke. Yeah, there are a huge amount of builds for Barbarians. I know a few people who do like the punch challenge use the Barbarian because I think Bash is pretty strong, but I chose a Paladin I think I just did on a whim. Love the maggot lair, by the way. I think it's aesthetically incredible. And now I know exactly my way around. It's super fun to like beat the system. I remember when I first started doing these challenge run videos, I was really like worried people are gonna maybe spoil the game slightly. I mean, it's better. It is better. But it's not going to last very long. I've only got 3 durability on those, and they are completely useless. But 9 durability on that. Bit of lightning fire resist, actually pretty good. Dual resist on gloves is pretty nice. There's a few good mods you can get on gloves, like faster attack speed. I think you may even be able to get some barbarian skills. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I often am. But I was saying, I was really worried when I started doing these videos that a lot of people would be like, you just need to, I should do a voice really. You just need to go left, right, and then right in this area. I don't know why it took you so long. And I thought, I don't really want this game to be, like, become too meta. Like, there are a lot of people who play this game incredibly well, and I'm sure a lot of you guys subscribe to them, but yeah, I don't know if I enjoy games anymore, like, just trying to be the best of them. It doesn't really interest me. I just actually like enjoying it, and I really like you guys kind of enjoying the games with me as well. Making games, I'm not trying to make games fun again. I'm not fun enough for that. Let's be honest. But yeah, I like the nostalgia of games. Just being fun, like playing with friends, and you know. Is that too much? Is that too much to ask? I was hoping in this little zone, because it's a busy boy area for bugs, a busy boy bug bonanza. Busy boy bug bonanza? It's a busy boy bug bonanza for boys. What is wrong with me? Don't answer that. I thought this is actually a really good place to start throwing some spears, just because the chance of me hitting is very high, and I could just up my spear count because my chances of hitting is very high. I'm going to crit. Let's just get up to max spears. It doesn't work that way. Almost every time I tried to do that in this run, I ended up with either the same or less spears than I started with. And yet sometimes I'm like, oh, these guys are, I'm really struggling against them. And then I come out with 5, 10 more spears afterwards. Or whatever kind of throwing equivalent I had. Sorry, Devil Eater. Lunchtime is over. Into the Lost City. Just remembering the time I used in the darkness run when I came into the Lost City prematurely. And yeah, when it's very dark anyway, you don't want to be plunged into darkness. Further darkness, should I say. So for those that care, I have actually got a new laptop. I've got a 4080 RTX card, which, guys, is a massive jump up from this. This is a 2060, RTX 2060. So at least now I'll be able to play Diablo 2 on the same graphics settings, just on a different machine. But no, what I can do now is actually play Path of Exile 2. And you can see there how deadly cold damage is. Cannot Be Frozen would be insane to find. What can you get on? Ravenfrost. Man, that would be amazing. I'm trying to think if there's one on maybe. This is a good quiz question for people who are good at this game. Is there an amulet with Cannot Be Frozen? Mara's? Metal Grid? I don't think there is. I think Ravenfrost is the only unique. So just to explain my big brain maneuver here, I started with about 38 javelins, maybe 36. Let's use the fire tower. I'm hitting it so frequently. Finished on 32. So that's how big brain that maneuver was. I think let's just get a shout going just while we test the waters. Oh, of course, there's bone warriors here, which also means there's guardians, and there's a guardian on both directions by the looks of it, because I'm getting surrounded by a calcium council. Unfortunately, they're not really dying in one hit either. Let's head up here. Let's see if we can get this guardian. It's busy. The snakes really need to go down as quickly as possible. They're often glass cannons. They stun very easily, which is very pleasant. Oh, a little cheeky war dart there as well. Of course, I don't have the brain power to pick it up. I think that guardian was from before. Taking my time here, trying to line them up as best I can. Got a chance to pierce. Ideally, you want to pierce through, hit them more than once, and that's the best way for me to regenerate. Regenerate the javelins, because it's a super stressful way of playing the game, I'll be honest. I know a lot of pretty much every single unique has got replenishment as part of the mod. One of the modifiers. But the chance of me finding those... I'm surprised at how often maybe throwing... In a normal run, all these throwing items is just trash you sell. But thankfully, there are enough of them. This is a busy room. Busy room. I'm showing this because this was actually a raw challenge. Sometimes you get these rooms. 2 different bosses there. 2 pointless items. Oh! Is he... He's trapped! Oh, I remember this now. Poor guy. How long has he been here? This feels like we need a haiku. This is so sad. Bones wedged tight in clay, silent pots guard your still dance, you dusty wanker. Anyway, it's not that sad. See you, mate. Pathetic, really. Oh, I can hear some hissing, which is really putting me off my prep. Let's get rid of that claw viper. There's probably another one down there, isn't there? Yeah, he's not even doing anything. Oh, that actually looked like a horrible... That looked like murder, where I come from. Oh, okay. Okay, I think many of you will know what a 2-socket helm means. What it means, right now, solid leap. Just grab the loot. Man, this is... It's so good when you have a transportation skill like that. It's only really the Barbarian. And of course the Sorceress. These days, in ARPGs, it's a staple for every character. Because for some reason, they're so obsessed with speed. Going as fast as you can. I like games to be pretty slow. It's like trying to play StarCraft 2 now. Oh my god. It's just embarrassing. But it's nice that the makers, the original guys, in charge of Diablo 2, thought only the Sorceress and Barbarian deserve to be able to efficiently travel the map. Progress going quite well so far. Bit of an immersion break coming up, because I know how immersed you guys get in my characters. Because I hadn't spoken to Jaren yet, I tried to do like a, let's see if we can avoid him through the alleyways. He actually blocked me in. I'm literally unable to move. Which I thought was quite interesting. It never happened before. Thankfully he did eventually bugger off. And I could hide through the alleyways. Anyway, eventually we get in. We break our way in through the window at the back. And we've got a few things to identify here. I mean, I'm reluctant to even bother with that. Well, I mean, the damage is okay, but I don't actually have the dexterity. So that's a good, like, warning for me that I need to, if I'm going to start using some of this stuff in the near future, I need to start investing. But no, just cool little area here. I don't think I've ever really looked at this. It actually reminds me of Lionheart. I don't know if any of you guys have played that. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was the last Obsidian RPG? That seems like a stupid thing to say. But I think it was the first part was set in Barcelona. So maybe just some of that architecture is conjuring something in the back of my mind. Definitely a mega party. Looks like the party almost started on the steps as well. Just cool little architecture there. Let's go in. What's he been up to? Oh my god. I'm not even going to tell you where I found that ring. But let's give it a clean before we put it on. And once again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this without any drama whatsoever. Just completely change my direction there. And we've got to be a bit careful here. And there, okay. Fire Eye is... This is going bad. Yeah, this is not the way to do this bit. We're going to have to leg it round. The good thing is we know Fire Eye isn't here. I don't know why that guy's giving me a little bit of relief. I'm not going to mess around. Yeah, he's a great voice actor, actually. We could get... I can't do it without doing like a kind of Sylvester Stallone or Arnie. We could get lost in here. We could get lost in... No, I can't do it. I can't do voices, man. I can do accents, but I can't do any impressions at all. The Ghoul Lords... I've just got a feeling these Ghoul Lords are going to be eating away my already dwindling supply. Down to 22. Armour also is not looking great. At least only shortly after that, we had these fish in a barrel. Should give us a chance to top up on our potions. Pretty close to another level up as well. I think what we need to do is get leap attack. Oh, nice. Just like the idea of those javelins that I missed, just gently falling through space now forever. But nice to have a few pots here, just to top up. Let's see what these guys are like. Oh, the damage is good. This actually could be a pretty decent place to farm. Night Eater. Okay, it's going on. That is good. It's not Devil Eater, but it is Night Eater. And yeah, that's the level up we all dreamed of. Leap attack. Yeah, let's switch that skill out straight away from leap to leap attack. The range on leap attack is just huge in comparison. Look at that. We can bypass all of this now. Now, this is very spooky, but it's actually a bit too busy. I think I might be better off just doing some jumping. Nice. I like the kind of false perspective they make here. It's a great way of great like Escher-esque subversion of what is clearly a 2D space or a flat plane. Unfortunately, I don't have any keys on me. But the good news is, my lightning resist is well up there. So this lightning tower, breathing heavily. Only you ghosty boys here. Soul Eye? Nah. Not for me. Got that, again, anxiety-inducing ammo running out decal that keeps popping up. Come on, Ghosty, you can do it. I did see a patch. Unfortunately, I'm not playing on a modded version now, as I may have mentioned a few times, because there's a lot of quality of life there, like removing the quest log. One of the mods is to make sure that all of the loot from ghosts always drops. And this strength. I mean, the crushing blow is nice. It's got a very high crushing blow. But it doesn't hit with a level 1 bash at this point, so it's almost time to retire the strength rune word, I think. Because that's 2 crushing blow hits there, so it looks like, okay, this might be acceptable. But it really isn't. Not in comparison. Oh, nice. Found it second time. Just chuck some sticks over there. I think we might have got a hit or 2. Oh, this is looking stressful, getting caught in the crane. Crane? Terrain? Hello? Lorraine, is that you? Okay, come on. It might be worth jumping back off. Clutch. Got it. Oh, thank God. It's only super stressful when it's very, very busy there, but we're down to 12. You might be wondering what I'm doing. I think, to be honest, between almost every single moment where we progress through the storyline, there's me having to go back. I often need potions. I need Row runes. I need scrolls. I mean, thankfully I can find them. But this is actually back on the normal. You can see what a dire state I'm in. Ghosts are actually pretty good because they've got quite a limited drop table. I'm sure I've mentioned that before. There's a good chance of them dropping gems and runes. And we're back in Lower Karast. Let's see what we found. I mean, unfortunately, nothing. But a Lunar War Dart, I mean, that's a cool name. And then the throwing axe, and that's rare. It just isn't good enough. The mods aren't good enough to compensate for the low damage. You see, like the Francisca. There's no way I'm going to be able to say that without seeing the word. Oh, Ralph, thank God. These are some of the better runs I had of the many hundreds I was forced to do just to repair myself before the Duriel fight, which I was terrified about. Might be worth noting, just before Duriel, I've repaired all my equipment. Now, why is that not working? Oh, yeah. It's ethereal, so you can't repair ethereal items. Non-ethereal, I mean, the damage would be much poorer, but we'd be able to repair it. That's why I'm now heavily breathing. I don't really have a good backup. I'm just joking here. Like, what am I supposed to do? And every time I have to drop in order to, like, cube stuff, I have to basically drop everything. Especially, like, repairing your belt means I have to drop everything in the cube and everything in my belt. It makes a solid mess. And I normally like doing that mess in town. It's probably one of the reasons why. Aiden, Jaden, Braden. Okay, then got chucked out. We're down to 3 javelins remaining. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. We're going to have to just say goodbye. Blade poison. That's cool. He's on the list. It's not Night Eater, but it's better than Devil Poison. Okay, 2 sockets. I think you know what's happening here. Lore Rune Word. Orton Soul. The lightning resist is nice. Damage reduction is good as well. It's really the +1 to all skills. It's a great, like, early... Oh, interesting. Looks like I've got an eye patch. A bit Snake Plithkin. Some more ghosty boys. The only real pleasure from doing the Countess runs, as many as I did, is there's a lot of heroes there. So we get to add to the list. And there's some lovely looking ghosts down there, if I do say so. Even as a married man. And I spent a long time looking for chipped gems, by the way, you know, in order to repair my items. And I get Finding to Nightmare Canyon Magi, 1 drop straight away. Cast of Cats here, absolutely furious with me. My comments in my last video. So, as were some of you, passionate comments. Flame Maim. Badass Flame Maim, that's cool. Flame Maim. There's a way to say that, which is better. I'm not going to try it. I'm going to spare you. 20. So actually with Lore Rune Word now, we get a +1 skills. He's really helping out. There's a load of skills that really benefit from plus skills with the Barbarian. Just having a look here, so this amulet situation is pretty desperate. Might be better off just with 4 damage reduction. Damage reduction definitely isn't anything to be ignored. When you stack it up, it can be extremely powerful for survivability. Even better than like damage resist, like physical resistance percentage, like 10% physical resistance that you can get on items. I mean, it's slow going, guys. I've got a feeling the damage is tailing off. I can imagine throw barbs being incredible with the right mods. the right weapons. When you get like a hell rare, because rares are actually quite good fun when you can build around rares. Makes the game a lot more exciting. I think that's something that Diablo 3 maybe did quite well, where they made the uniques extremely unique, like completely changing the skills. But rares could still have just the right mods that you needed to actually, you know, hit the stats. Unfortunately, got a bit of a stat grind. They call it power creep? I'm not sure. And this is getting pretty close. I mean, again, not really in any danger because of my high skill. I'm going to have to save an exit there. I'm back once again. The Renegade Master here. Killing some fools. Unfortunately, even just getting to that point completely rinsed my potion collection. And we've got to start stacking them up. Gem Shrine here. Saddest thing you'll ever see. For a long time, and I'm talking years, I had no idea what a Gem Shrine. I thought it was a random... Oh, okay, 37 life, and fire resist, and some damage reduction as well. That feels like an upgrade, and it's red. Yeah, it's definitely worth it, I think, for the fashion. I'm still holding on to this. Without a stash, I can't just have lots of pretties in a box. I'm going to chuck out the old gloves at this point. Still trying to cart it around. I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to it, guys. I think double throw's the choice here, just because I need the attack rating. And I think we know what ring this is gonna be. Cathan Seal. More damage reduction. I think it might be better than that. I mean, the lightning resist is very good. Maybe worth holding on to this one just for Mephisto. Oh my god, there's no room. 13 scrolls in there, though. Show off. Cubing to the Am. This should have just been a Countess sponsored run, honestly. The amount of times I had to kill her. And I had some just god-awful maps. Some like just really long maps. I don't know why I'm doing it like this. You can tell I'm going to kind of like an early stage of kind of depression and complete mental breakdown. I'm looking like I've got a very healthy collection. I am super intimidated by the Duriel fight. It was maybe because of how tough it was in the original, the normal run. Bone Cool the Hungry. Oh, that's cool. Bone Cool. What's he doing? How do you get a name like that? Bone Cool. It sounds like a pun with phone call, doesn't it? Not smart enough at this point. My brain has been too addled by this run. For those doing magic runs right now, good luck to you, brother or sister, or the occasional sister. Mostly brothers. But I find it quite a difficult way to play the game these days. I think I just got to the realization that I don't actually care that much about finishing a character. Because when it's finished, there's nothing to do. I've mentioned before, look at this, peak, this is like Pol Pot channeling. He's always with us. Well, we actually know exactly where he is. He's stuck in those knee-high pots. But yeah, once I did my Dual Dream Sorceress one ladder run, not that long ago, I really went for it. And it was incredible, the damage was just insane. But when I finished it, what do I need to do? I didn't need to do anything. So I didn't. I just stopped playing. It felt really weird, like working that hard towards something and then having almost no satisfaction. And that's almost one of the inspirations for me starting YouTube. Is starting to try and enjoy the journey. Let's put the style, it looks an incredible place. I'm having a quick look around here. I thought, let's just see if I can get a few more potions. But I ended up taking more damage. And then doing this, like, maybe slightly more than 7 breath deliberation. Thawing potion going in. Very, very intelligent. Duriel already absolutely ripping me apart. His wobbly backside. I'm going to have to leap away from this. I think we're going to have to rely upon some crushing blow here. I don't even know what my chance that is. I do have 10 skill. I think let's just put that to vitality. Should have maybe prepped that a little bit before. Okay, that's a hit. Don't seem to be doing that much. Come, get out of there. That's because this room won't let me jump to the corner. I was thinking I want to jump past the wall. Okay, always better when you get pinned up against the wall. Don't quote me on that. I'm not hitting very well. You can see the X's there. One of the great options with the remasters. You can see when you miss. That's a hit. Oh, that's a good one as well. That's decent damage. Crushing Blow, of course, has diminishing returns. So those first few hits of Crushing Blow are mega. But it's starting to tail off. So maybe let's get to closer to 50%. And then we're going to have to start sticking this boy. Let's turn him into a hedgehog. Oh, an insane hit. I have no idea. Maybe that was a crit? That was enormous. That's actually taken him below 50%. Might be worth doing a bit more. This is going quite well with what I would consider to be now an outdated weapon. Although I can see some slots in the belt opening up, which is cause for early concern. Yeah, the stash is not looking good. I think I'm just taking too much damage. The freeze aura he has, he's actually doing a pretty decent. I mean, it's slowing me down so much, and he's stunning me. I think we're going to have to do this at range, and we're going to have to stay away from his aura. The aura itself doesn't do a huge amount of damage, and I think we can probably lifesteal to compensate. The question is, can we mana steal to compensate enough to keep us leaping? I think every time we get a clip like that, we just get a few hits in before we get frozen, and then just try and leg it. This might be the way to do it. I think this is going to be another close fight. I can't imagine being able to get back through the halls without any equipment, and then I still wouldn't have any potions. But with some careful leap attacks, it gets down to the wire. Just thrashing it out. Armor gets slashed to pieces. Semi-naked. Potions almost out. A few more hits, surely. Defeated. Guts strewn. Oh, I thought that was a unique ring. My brain didn't process that quickly enough. That would have been epic. A Falchion. Sorry. Ethereal as well. I'm getting a lot of ethereal. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to like. Oh, it's even got some resist at the end of that. Good mana, good resist. I mean, that is doubling the mana we've got. And it's got life. It's got loads of good stuff. Undeserved good loot there. And I find what I believe is a homeless man, but he's just Irish. Oh, but he's got his brothers. I've had it. I always use this as a benchmark of what Act 4 is going to be like. Okay. Okay. You might notice my armor is broken. I think I actually forgot at this point. And look, I do have a friend. Snakey. Snakey? He's abandoned me already. Snakey. Oh God. What have I done? Not again. I think he's just sleeping. He's just sleeping. There's a bit of Mice and Men, for those who know. A bit Lenny and Mice and Men. Poor Snakey. It's so stupid. Anyway, it's the little bits of enjoyment you can take from the game after having to stress out with Duriel. Now that's done, I feel like Mephisto we might be able to cheese a bit. I feel like Diablo, I mean, it could be tough. He was very, very difficult on normal. And this is Act 3. The worst! There's some stuff to like about Act 3. I get it, right? It's technically looks better than Act 5, but it's just really unpleasant. And look who I'm fighting once again. This is on Nightmare, hoping to maybe get some decent runes. I think in hindsight, I probably should have just done this on normal. Dreadfester. Yeah, cool. That's a cool name. That's a pirate's name. Warp Cloud. Nah, that sounds a bit stinky. Dropped a rune though. So I had to do this a lot. I mean, look, my armor is in a bad shape anyway. My gloves are since broken. Just keeping up some towers to get another row. Still holding onto that strength maul. Now, I'm not going to say much about this name. But very controversial. And I actually feel compelled just to make a political stance here. We're going to have to kill Black Killer. We don't stand for it in this game. Or any game. That would never get past a modern game filter, by the way. The world is written. That's racism over. More Countess runs. I can't really stress to you how miserable this run was because of this. Part of the reason maybe the video took so long to come out is because when you've spent an evening just getting scrolls and killing the Countess, and then you think, I'm no closer to actually progressing. Oh, interesting. Email. I'm not sure what that is. I think like a lot of the normal armour, it's not great, but it's got one decent mod. Attack rating's not bad. Lifesteal. Open wounds. Now, open wounds is an interesting one. And I can't say I use it very often. We're going to lose the life. The good thing about it, open wounds that is it scales. So the damage per second increases with your character level. The duration is always the same. That 200 frames is about 8 seconds. But actually, this is just going to level with me. And it can be pretty decent damage as well. Gloom Drill! We're finding what a small pleasure. I would literally be quite excited when I found some of these guys. Gloom Drill! Rain Hue. You know, something's gone really wrong when you're more excited about Gloom Drill than you are about unique dropping. But yet more, I've got to get enough. I've got to get enough rows, Mum. I can't go to bed yet. I need more rows. What? But you're an old man now. What? Anyway, still a nightmare. Act 1. I'm not getting a lot of experience with this, annoyingly. You can see I'm smashing through these groups. Again, trying to cheese. Think, maybe I could get some more. I'm down to 12, 11, 10, 11, 10, 12, 9. This is exciting, right? Oh, it's gone. The War Javelin of Excellence. No more. The War Javelin of Maiming. Back on top. You might be saying, oh, just find something good and repair it. I was actually finding quite a few throwing weapons. Ooh, that is pretty nice. Do I need that much? Probably not. I actually want the space as well. I think let's just do a direct replacement. It's a little bit better. Oh. You've got to pick it up. It's that kind of midpoint. I can't find enough runes to say no to IO. I will always pick up a row. We're floating a lot of AM runes there. I do actually really want to drop a lot of this stuff. You might be asking yourself, why are you holding on? This is the pain I mentioned earlier about having to keep up your belt and the absolute mess it makes on the floor. A doll rune. Now let's get rid of Cathans. We don't need any more. Rustbang the Dark. Yeah, he's got to go on there. It's low tier jokes, guys, but come on. I know you quite liked it as well. Level 48, respectable, especially for this part of the campaign. And here we go. Actually holding to that superior crown, I'm thinking of upgrading my lore, but Rock Stopper. Rockstopper is fantastic, by the way. Fast hit recovery. 15 vitality is actually very good for the Barbarian as well, because he gets so much extra health from life. Or vitality, should I say. It's got some pretty solid resists. I mean, look, I do like the +1 to all skills. But cold, lightning, fire resist, and it's got that physical damage reduced. Now, I don't plan on getting hit, but let's be honest. I'm going to get hit. Ooh, lovely little javelin in the back of the head there. Now, did I need to run the Countess as many times as I did? Yeah, I did actually. Thanks for trying to correct me. But yeah, what I did then do is just try and smash through the flare jungle and all surrounding vegetation as fast as I possibly could. I've found this is actually a more fun way of doing it. So run to Karast as quickly as you can. Cut down any trees you want to on the way. Very sad to see the Jade figurine. You might see that drop a few times. You can tell how many different sessions I played this game in. A few people have said, I say a few, like 1 or 2. That is a few. Look at this. I don't think I've ever really looked at this little doodad before, like across. It's very, very good. There's that ambient noise, which I've spoken about how much I actually miss. There's a man just sleeping. Oh, it's actually lethal. Yeah, that's health and safety nightmare. This, well, I think this campfire is going to be quite important to us. You'll all know by this point that both the chests either side of that guaranteed magic drops. Great place to farm. You can farm at quite high difficulty levels. You generally need keys to make the most of it. If you do that on player 7, you get a lot of drops. And I think we're going to need to upgrade these javelins at some point. Flame maim? What? Again? Flame maim. It's dropping in coolness. It's got to go down. It's better than blade poison, but the fact there's more than one of them. And of course, super safe on the way here. Everyone's really pleased to see me. Everyone's come and congratulating me. Yay! Finally, you can kill the council. Actually got a few waypoints on the way, which is nice. One more level up there. Level 49. Adding a massive 1% to my chance to hit. Oh, wow, solid lightning damage that. There are some great mods. I mean, that on a rare, with a few other nice things. You really want enhanced damage. You want replenished stack. It's time to start chucking some stuff away as well. Rockstopper. Finding the limitation of Rockstopper, it's not got great durability. Luckily the boots and the gloves now. I've got repairing ones, self-repairing ones. And a shale rune is a very big find, by the way. Part of the reason I was farming the Countess for so long was to find a shale rune. And I didn't. And there's a lot of mess here. A lot of that I just simply don't need at this point. And what I'm really looking for, and this is going to be an absolute pain to find, is a cuirass. I needed 3-socket armor. And let's get into some magic. We found some magic boys. Paladin's overpowered. That annoyed me. Chuck it on the floor. Sorceress overpowered. Don't need that kind of lightning resist. It's not doing anything for me. Brilliant. +1 to strength. Throwing axe. I think that's confirmation. It doesn't matter what the mods are on the standard stuff. We need nightmare weapons. I even identified that just because this was like another 15 runs or something. Okay, that I don't mind. I don't have any magic find, so the little bit is actually quite a big jump. Diminishing returns on magic find, so it's really worth just stacking a little bit. That one's pretty good. Fire resist. Bit of dex as well. Yeah, if both of those were even like 3 or 4 times, probably still wouldn't wear it. Maybe 4 times. Come on, dude. Superior War Javelin. So Ethereal Superior War Javelin. 22 to 50 damage. Very respectable. Don't even know why I'm bothering some of this stuff. Now that looks to me like an upgrade. But I'm chucking it on the floor. And those that know. The thing you need to know is the durability isn't high enough. I can't be bothered to repair it. You might be asking, what are you doing here? Again, I'm looking in spider areas for some spiders. And of course, Act 3 being the worst means I have to search 3 different spider areas just to find some spiders. Because presumably they're migratory spiders. Magic find and a bit of energy. Yeah, that feels like a direct improvement. That replenished life is actually very good. You see my life ticking up now. It's not huge, but it's maybe 2 a second. I mean, it all helps. Why do I bother? Let's buff. Let's get ready. Immediately. I'm suspicious about this area. This map looks like the chest might be right next to me. We've just had a range of the hero, which means it's not aggroing, and all of its minions that are kind of in range to attack me keep getting tethered back to it, so they attack as a pack and don't get separated. What is going on? Okay, we've definitely found him. Insane. Dark the Burning, absolute run killer. Hardcore characters. He must have killed so many. He's cursed. He's normally extra strong. And he can be extra fast as well. He might always be extra fast. I can't quite recall. But it's a lethal combination. Especially for spiders, because they're quite passive generally. But when they want to be aggressive, they're very, very capable killers. I just want to apologise maybe in advance for my microphone. It doesn't sound great. I'm in my office at the moment, at home. Because I've clearly got such a big home. I have my own office. I don't think I like the sound. I actually normally sit in my front room, my living room. I don't know what people call it these days. I've got to say, the sound quality, when I'm hearing it back, doesn't sound that good. But yeah, hopefully the microphone, I've been told my microphone on my new laptop sounds a lot better than my old one. I don't know if it's going to be as good as my Blue Yeti, which isn't fantastic. I'm kind of ready to upgrade at this point. But thanks for sticking through. And look, you can see, I can just squeeze my body through that tiny gap. There's a little pro tip for you guys. Might not realise you can fit a Barbarian's body through those bars. Again, one of the reasons why leap attack is just so overpowered. I want that charm. I don't want all this aggro. Some short kings here. I think ever since the Ratman storyline, this whole place feels very charged. There's a lot of tension. A lot of cultural tension. Dugu, the big betrayer of Ratman, and his wife, also called in Dugu. And there it is, the Jade figurine once again. It's reminding me that I'm currently 40 hit points behind where I should be if I were playing the game normally. It is actually very difficult. Like, a lot of the bonuses you get make quite a significant difference. Like the Izual. Sewers, we were able to get. Oh no, we can't, because of course we can't get into town. Yeah, sorry, I totally forgot. It's been a while since I actually did this run. There's loads of great rewards that you miss out on. Like resistance scrolls. That's about it really. But the skill points, we are actually quite far behind in skill points. Although we are kind of over leveled for this point. And that is a really, really annoying place for him to die. Or her. Not judging. I didn't check. But yeah, slipping into the slop. Slipping into the slop, we're going to call that chapter in its life. And I'm not putting my hands in the slop. I don't know what these guys were eating in the town above, but they had to require such an intricate sewer system. But I'm not putting these well-manicured hands. I need those so I don't be too slick as I'm throwing my spears. Peak tactics here. Actually very very poorly guarded orb there. Real oversight. Security. Speeding up some of this because it's just me throwing. They actually have quite a decent chance of dropping throwing items in this act, it would seem. Not that they generally drop anything good. But it does open up the idea of maybe farming the council. These aren't too difficult to kill. So there we go, once again, Francesca. Francis. I'm not going to say it without seeing it. Now our resistances are really good. We've actually got lightning resist on a lot of our equipment, including that large charm, but helm, everything really. It's got a little bit helping us. And the fire resistance is also pretty good. Thankfully we're able to carve these guys down. Turn them into pincushions. More lightning resist. I'm not sure if I like that ring, to be honest. I think we've got very good rings. I think that's a testament to how much I farmed. And a Francisca absolutely nailed it. So look, it's inventory management at the moment. Let's not worry too much about what I chose to do. There's room for what's important. Like some of these throwing weapons take up barely any room at all. The throwing spears, I think maybe the worst. Take up 5, although technically like balanced axes can take up 6, I think, like a 2x3. But throwing knives, Franciscas, only 2 slots. And it wouldn't be one of my videos if I wasn't chased and pounded in the corner by some muscly men. The tethering here is really helping me out. The boss seems to be staying back. The maulers aren't really quick enough, especially when I've cooled them down, to escape without getting a few axes in the back. Damage is really not super strong. It's a very equipment dependent build. Throwing build, I can really see how it could be overpowered. But I'm not there yet with the equipment I've got. I find this Hyperion Javelin. So this I think is the Hell version. 2855 base damage. I mean, I would absolutely give that to Chelsea if I was allowed. What it does give us is a good indication of what kind of dexterity and strength we're going to need if we're ever going to take this to the next level. God forbid. But 1, 2, 3 dex. So a lot of dex. We actually need some more strength as well. I think let's put... I mean, we are very far away on the dexterity. But strength is useful for armor as well. We'll try and balance the levels up, I think, to a certain point. Double thrown out to 15, and we're level 50, which is always cool. So chased by ratmen. Big muscly black guys. Just a normal night out in London. Jumping our way to success. We know the way down, and now we've got the waypoint. I think that waypoint might be quite important. Nightmare, Mephisto, along with Nightmare and Duriel, which is 2 fantastic farming spots for equipment. Mephisto, fantastic equipment, just overall. Some really, really good drops. And Duriel is just great for jewellery. Here we go. I think let's actually get strength out. Let's use that crushing blow while we've got it. Clerical error here on the bash. Okay, lightning resist is definitely solid enough to tank some of this. Very dangerous, Mephisto, in hand to hand. We know from previous runs, Mephisto, even on normal, can do about 300 damage, 300 or 400 damage in one hit. So on Nightmare, you know it's going to be 2 or 3 times that. Not hitting often at all. See the X's coming through. So again, mentioned the remaster can show you when you miss an attack. That little X is very helpful. It might just be easy enough for us to do a little bit of a moat trick here. Classic Blizzard farming spot. Get Mephisto in this kind of position, just within sight, unable to cast any skills. Big worry here. I can't actually see if I'm hitting or not. Got a feeling this might be maybe too far to hit. Oh no, okay, we can definitely hit from this range. Might be worth putting. And I'll keep the old dialogue box up there so you can see what took me maybe 10 seconds longer than it should have done. What? Why am I not throwing it? And here's where I realised, actually, I think the limitation. So, great inventory size. Very low range. I'm pretty certain I'm out of range at this point. And I need to remain just a little bit further away. Stop Mephisto from trying to hit me. I can dodge, but it's just super stress. And I'm about the chill vibes. But this is a pretty good spot here. For whatever reason, Mephisto didn't like the idea of attacking. And you can see we're remaining kind of top 60, 70. We're actually gaining quantity, which doesn't really make too much sense to me, because Mephisto should have a really difficult chance to hit, but I'm not going to argue with it. I mean, it is dropping down to 60s, 50s. Maybe I just had a bit of a lucky spurt into our 40s. Our top 40s, back up to 50. This is content. That might seem a bit of an anticlimactic. I really like the Mephisto run that we had in the normal run through. Okay, Grim Shield, that is good. That is a classic Act 3 Nightmare find as well. And that is really going to be complemented by Colwyn's Point, which I found. +1 to skills. That's all we want in the Lidless Wall. There's a little bit extra, like a cast rate of an extra NG. Colwyn's Point, +1, otherwise utterly useless. That gives us two very complementary offhand weapons there. Or weapon set, should I say. +2 skills. Ideally, with a 4-socket sword, we could get +2 in spirit. And Huanin's Blessing. So prevent monster heal could be quite interesting. We are, because it's about, losing some slots, which actually does hurt. But it does add a bit of extra damage. It's nice to mix it up. Managed to grab this throwing spear, which is ethereal as well. Throwing spears are really good. They get some great mods. For whatever reason, I just see better mods on the throwing spears. And they look really cool. And I had to drop that jewel, but I really don't know what to... Look at that. Manually clicking it in like a pro. I hope that upsets you as much as it upsetted me watching it back. So Act 4. Now Diablo at the end of Act 4 in normal difficulty was a real challenge for us. I'll admit that. I wasn't really able to do the damage I needed to. And I'm actually abandoned strength at this point. I'm pretty certain it's been dropped. Oh, this is tough as well. Open wounds there, helping to finish off the guy. We're hoping for a solid map here. But really, all I can do at this point is run to the first waypoint. Otherwise, I'm stuck. There's no using the waypoint in town. And we're hoping no souls. I think we look like we're in a good position. A short debate as to what I'm doing. There's actually no reason to kill Israel whatsoever. Dark Familiars, no great challenge, except all of a sudden I'm almost dead. And I'm super low on potions as well. Probably one of the tougher sets of enemies I've come up against for some time. I think they just hit so aggressively. And the River of Flame. Now Blood Maggots are good because I'm thinking, actually, yeah, another great location with all these little dudes to increase the amount of quantity I've got on my weapon sets. Because I should be piercing through, I should be critting multiple times. Yeah, and you can see I've lost I've lost quantity by this point. And a lovely little find there. That quest log indicator tells me what I need to know, which is the Hellforge. It's right down there. Getting pounded again by these muscly men. Mephisto. Spectral hit or enchanted. That's actually not a great combination, especially being cold enchanted as well. It's going to be cold enchanted me every time. You can see, oh, how slow I am. I think I remember reading that your cold duration is directly impacted by your resistance, or certainly that the conviction aura helps increase the amount of cold duration that you suffer. But I'm definitely not going to get hit anymore. But I am going to have to subject you to what would otherwise look like comedy. But is in fact life and death. Epic Michael Bay chase. Annoyingly, he doesn't decide to stay there. He's got some AI. That means he runs off. Eventually he succumbs. And of course I completely clear the Hellforge so I can really enjoy myself. Get through the gemstones that drop. We got ourselves a Hell Rune. Although I actually think that might be the highest you can get. The thing is, it's not particularly useful to me. Probably would have preferred a Ral. Or a Scroll of Identify. 2 durability left on Rock Stopper. I think the thing is, I mean, do I need that Hyperion Javelin? It is good. But we're back. Oh, can you believe it? 4 hours of farming I've condensed. A huge amount of time. Almost no experience whatsoever. But I desperately need to find some better weapons. So low cuirass farming. I found these 2 bad boys. So 20 to 50 damage, replenishes quantity. 18 to 45, not so good, replenishes quantity. This took me 4 hours, which I'm never getting back. But you can see summarised in these pixels in front of you. What it does give me is an opportunity to have constant flood of sticks that I can throw at the enemy. So I can have these as my staple. I've got some space here because I've got rid of the strength rune word at this point. That maul is just too big. So what I'm trying to do here is in my primary hand, on the left hand slot, which is the first one you throw, I've got my non-replenishing. Because what can happen is you can throw it, kill the creature, and then your second one just gets thrown into the distance. But the second one could be the replenishing one. What it does mean is I can actively be replenishing that first slot then, in theory. In practice, I think the problem is once it starts going down, not much you can do. Use a lot of these, like, quite nice when you've got range weapons, you've got the mobility. Actually, pretty decent. I mean, most people would gawk at that. But 25 life, remember for the Barbarian, because I've got Battle Cry, or various shouts, battle orders. I'm just showing you some of the different weapons I've got here. A lot of these I'm chucking. Some of them, like the Franciscas, they just don't have the range. I realised for the longest time, actually, I was playing on players 2 as well, which really annoyed me. And we're very, very low now on one of our ethereal ones. I get to this point, I think, oh, this is risky. This is risky, another hero pack. Let's just find, maybe here I can find... No, at this point, we're committed to leaping over everything. What this does do is completely prevent us from dying and coming back. But what it also does is skip a lot of the bullshit, so... And there it goes. Having quite luckily, super speedy, real-time weapon change there. And actually, super quiet, by the way, considering how much aggro had. They don't seem that bothered. And I've made it to Diablo's lair. The question is, why is he hiding? Why is he locked behind these seals? When there's loads of demons that could free him? Stop asking so many questions, man. I saw a very brief clip of, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Michael Bay's Armageddon and Ben Affleck. I've never been a great fan of Ben Affleck, as he's now called, because I can't talk. But Ben Affleck, I never loved him in movies, I'll be honest. But his commentary, well, I think he might have had a little bit of a drink, and his criticism of unpicking Michael Blade and Affleck. Oh my god. Well, at least it's copyright free. Their version of Armageddon and the plot holes of, is it easier to train oil miners to be astronauts, or astronauts to be oil miners, or drillers, should I say? And needless to say, Michael Bay's response was not very polite, but very funny. Kind of looking forward to. I think gone are the days anyone actually bothers with director's commentary, but my opinion of Affleck went up. I think Affleck's going to be my next character in this game, by the way. Ooh, look at this. Completely missed the Grand Vizier fight there. Apologies. Very nice. Do you like the replenished life? I think Warcry's +1 can go. Come on, dude. Yeah, nice. Like that. Plus to Barbarian skills there. Just a +1 to Barbarian skills and that will probably be an end game for this character, I'll be honest. And I was super excited to find this. And then I realised, I think it's Razortail, maybe, which is the unique version of this, which is really good. This, and actually the faster run warg, I liked enough to be like, yeah, it's worth switching it out. I also quite needed the 4 extra potion slots you get from it, the fact it's a nightmare item rather than the belt. We do have a little bit of poison damage with one of our grand charms as well, which is doing the same kind of work as prevent monster heal. And open wounds, of course. Just a little bit of interesting positioning here. These Doom Knights are actually quite good fun to kill. They do have a chance to block, which doesn't make any sense, given the way they look fat and not wearing any shields. Wielding shields, should I say. Look at this dodging. Hit. I mean, it looks good for a moment, and then it really isn't. But 50% of the time, I dodge 100% of the time. So that's the stat to go with. And Lord Decease here. Issues he's caused in the past, and not to be replicated today. And look at the items dropping in this place. An extra 5% magic find doing some bloody work. Entirely useless. Entirely terrible. If it had cannot be frozen, I think I'd be tempted. Nice little level up here. I don't know why we need any more heroes in this place. It's dangerous enough. But dexterity now looking pretty solid. And I've done what I needed to do in normal, which was just have a little bit of a stockpile of potions. I've got to make sure I scream through this pretty quickly, because they will despawn. So every now and then I go back and just give them a bit of a rub, which you can see I did there. Just pick them up and put them down again, to make sure they still feel like they're loved enough not to wander off. But I know I'm probably going to need a stockpile. Diablo's got a huge amount of hit points. I don't know how easy he's going to be. I think with ranged, he'll be easier, I'll be honest. But I've said stuff like that before, and it's been extraordinarily difficult. Again, just checking that chainmail, hoping it had a few slots. Did not. Love the fact you could just leap over there. And once more, with them tethered to the boss, to the hero of the group, kind of just chuck some spears in there. Pretty cool. This feels like a pretty big cheap way to die. But like a chicken, they literally cannot walk away from me and just go around the corner to find me. A nice little stack of extra, but maybe too many mana potions at this point. Diablo is already there. I just wanted to give them potions a little bit of a touch here as before we get too excited. Bit of a rub just in case. There's a load of mana potions there, so I can probably buff myself quite frequently. I think with the mana steel I'm getting, should be fine. I've got that resistance amulet on. I don't know if I'm going to need it. I think the reason why I'm putting this on is for the replenish life. Since it's going up, I don't plan on getting hit too often. I'm taking a lot of damage. Luckily with the fire resistance, probably only taking about 40 damage. I don't really want to get clipped by that just to see what the damage is like. But it's 50% physical, 50% lightning. And the lightning I can definitely resist quite significantly. But this is going to be an absolute endurance session. At this mid-range, his attacks are pretty frequent and quite annoying. A lot of repositioning that needs to happen. I'm tanking a lot of that general fire damage. I'm actually also allowing my hit points to go down pretty low. Already maybe halfway through. What's embarrassing is the cold, and it's my charm that does 1 to 2 cold damage. Gives me such a good opportunity once he starts his like charge to reposition, and he does a really, really delayed swing attack. By that point, I'm nowhere nearby. I will save you most of the misery I had to go through. These drops as well. Such a shame. I mean, incredible really for the build I've got, but just falling a bit short. Pylums, oh look, they're normal items. The chance of me getting anything good from this is pretty slim. And part of me's like, I just want to... I'll identify them, because I have to. that's actually pretty good. That's okay, 73. I mean, the highs are high, but the lows are low. And this does replenish quantity. That's probably better than the throwing spear, actually. Maybe I've discounted the pylum. Pylums are just super cool as well. Actually, they look all very different looks. Short spear there on the pylum. Pylum, I think, was designed for single use, right, in Roman combat. Made of, like, just screaming around this well, by the way. Let's not get distracted with a history lesson. We don't care, nerd. Yeah, the echo in this room is actually really bad. Sorry, I regret it, but I want to get the video out sooner rather than later. And it's all about speed rather than quality, right? But I don't think I'll be making the mistake of recording in this room again. All that a duvet over my head. Very busy here, I've got to say already. The nice thing about Act 5 is by this point, you're normally geared enough, you're normally ready. You can, if you want, just run through the whole thing. Mold pox there? Not on the list. There'll be a few of you campaigning for mold pox. No. Damage very respectable at this point. A lot of the anxiety I had now removed from the replenished quantity items I've got. Actually, some useful stuff from Diablo. I mean, yeah, just goes to show. Just be so good if they were. I don't know what the nightmare equivalent of pylums are, but we'd love you to have found some of those just for the damage boost. I don't know if I've got the morale in my heart to spend any time farming this guy because of how much time I've spent with this character. But I am quite underleveled. And I am missing equipment. And sometimes farming means I don't have to engage my brain. Gothic plate there as well. Normally I'd be excited about stuff like that. When you can't carry it. Disgusting scroll there. God, imagine how angry the town folks would be if I just rocked through a portal. And you can see how slow. Cold Enchanted. So Cold Enchanted, definitely the worst, by the way. And this fill plate could be big. Oh, it's not. It's not. We just need 3 sockets. And if we get it in a cuirass, that would be fantastic. To be honest, 3 sockets in leather armor, I take at this point.
I can't.
We're going to have to just chuck it away. And let's identify this, just because it's been a long time since I found anything. Pointless. Never doing it again. Grand Charm. +1 to traps. That is valuable. But not to me. This pack. Unbelievable. So, ambushed at the waypoint. They were just here. Fanaticism aura. Back up with archers. Incredibly difficult. I go toe-to-toe one of them there. And yeah, this is more... I didn't legitimately die there, of course. I died just to show you that you can leap with 1 hit point and then die as you land. Yes, a soul. Don't know why I got so excited. I think I know why I'm excited. This is a look at this lovely looking ghost, by the way. Just wanted to see if it looked like that. Looked that good. Those are like purple tips, man. Awesome. Shame you can't collect them. Rock stop at this point. Busted. The more I farm, the more times I seem to get hit. Especially against the Eldritch Rectifier. Because you basically have to just tank. Flame aim. Flame aim now. On the cusp. Being eliminated. This is like the 1990s tribal tattoo. Maybe the early 2000s lower back tattoo. The tramp stamp. The Pinterest nonsense saying. Nonsense wisdom. Some of you may have spotted that guy's name. It's not on the list. You got your own list. Tuck it away. And I found up here, guys.
I can't carry anymore.
The Major Blade. I'm excited by it. I'll tell you why. I actually dropped from one of the skeleton archers, not from one of the enslaved, which I've been farming for a huge amount of time. Hence my damaged equipment. doing a little bit of repairing just to teasing you there. It's a 3-socket mage plate. Shale, Thal, I'm even nervous even though I know I did it right. Peace rune word. Now a lot of this stuff is useless, right? Amazon skill levels, fast hit recovery, critical strike. I think that applies to me even though it's an Amazon skill, but it's the Valkyrie. 2% chance to cast level 15 Valkyrie, and that is a very, very tanky assistant to have. We'll see how it works. But that I thought would be the most complimentary. There was another rune word there, Lionheart, is it? I think that might be Barbarian specific. I toyed with that one. But in the end I thought the Valkyrie has got the highest chance to be really useful, especially when I'm trapped in that room with Baal. And inevitably his weak, pathetic brother. Sorry. Sorry. Now, there's a lot of inventory management going here. My advice about making decisions in 7 breaths. This probably took about 7 minutes. Quick piss up against the wall. Clearly nothing wrong with me medically. We're away. And immediately, I actually didn't start filming because I didn't think it'd be this quick. Almost the first javelin I threw. I've got this absolute beauty. Very, very tanky. Look at this, I mean, incredible. So what you can see here is, actually it seems to be a 2% chance of resummoning. It's not like I've got it, and if I don't have it then I'll resummon it. It will resummon it even if I have it, and it will resummon it at the location that I fire. And Sibyllin? Sibyllin? Cymbelan? Cymbelan? Close enough. These noisy boys. These noisy shirtless boys. We've all seen them. Do we let them escape? Actually, pretty decent little location. Sharptooth is a very, very speedy little chap, by the way, despite his size. Thought that last one would kill him, but it didn't. And of course, as soon as we get some new armour, we get all the armour in the game suddenly starts dropping. I did actually identify the ancient armour because it's always quite good fun. Rescue those boys. I did have a plan to rescue all of them because I thought it might be a nice little part of the story arc. Hayden, Braden, Jaden, Raiden Nicaden does not follow through with any tasks he starts. KCI back. One of the few Steven Seagal movies which are passable are Under Siege and Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. And there he is in enemy form in this game. I found this lovely little shack, by the way. Normally this kind of property is bought up and turned into a massage parlour. But I actually quite like this for myself. This feels like the kind of place that Jaden Braden might end up to start a real life. So, like, clearly not much of a life with his imaginary girlfriend. And this is a pain. But what I've found is you can actually leap over those towers. Yeah. Normally you can't leap over the walls, which is really annoying. Fresh socket absolutely exploded. And at level 15, the Valkyrie actually gets quite a nice selection of different armours. Look at this. Royal fashion show going on. Now in this particular area, I found that the Valkyrie actually started dying quite a lot. And that flail you saw on the floor was actually 4 sockets. But I don't have the room for it. But for those looking for a 4-socket flail right now, I feel bad for your son. Cracking through this. The Valkyrie was actually dying every now and then. I mean, it looks like it's barely taking any damage, but there are a few occasions where enough enemies, like a boss with the right kind of debuff, she would actually go down. Not like that. And I don't know if you saw that, but that was a very aggressive spin move by that guy. Yeah, here you can see, like, utterly surrounded, desperately trying to have a quick drink. She's holding up really well here. Much better than I am. Level 15 is a very strong Valkyrie, by the way. I'd love to do a Valkyrie only annoying when some of these skills are just higher level to start with. But I think Valkyrie only would be pretty rough. I think the Valkyrie might be one of the best summons you can get, actually. Like individual summons. I think she can take a bear on. Feels like I'm brewing a fight club in my heart right now. But I think the Valkyrie would be my choice for, even though it's a very plain attack. Anyway, look, we should be excited. We're finally here. The kind of penultimate, because we do have the Baal's minions to get through after this before we hit the summit. The true summit, should I say. But leap attack here. What we're trying to do is separate these guys. We've got Madork on his own. Just a little, just teasing for a little bit. Unfortunately, Corlic jumps in. Go toe to toe with him there. Thrower versus thrower. There can be only one. Corlic, man, what an absolute beast. And then the last, Talik. And I'm thinking, we got him, great position. Valkyrie can, like, we're not doing a lot of damage though. They seem to be hitting him that often either. And that's when it dawns on me. He's immune to physical. And here's where, unfortunately, there's not an option here to throw yourself off. But, I mean, it's, what can you do at this point? I didn't actually even consider this to be a possibility. But stone skin and immune to physical. So I'm going to be missing a lot of the time, and when I do hit, I'm going to be doing almost no damage. We've got to go again. Lovely bit of repositioning again. Leaving the Valkyrie there just to get absolutely hammered by those three lads. Let's try and reposition. Hopefully she'll... There you go, she's popped back. We'll wait here for a bit and see who we get. Hopefully not everyone. Madok here. Now part of me is thinking maybe I should just quickly go and check Corlic. Make sure he's not immune to physical. But what are the chances, right? It's not foreboding, don't worry. A little bit more repositioning there. We don't really want to fight them all at the same time. I think someone at one comment at one point was that they should patch this to make sure that you have to fight them all at the same time, but thank God you don't. And just in time. So that blue armor as well, I think might be cold resistance added to the armor, because they can spawn with different armor types, which is great for Talik with that fire attack. And we know he's not immune to physical, although he does look quite fast. Extra fast only. Perfect. Good position here as well. When he's zipping left and right like that, it's actually not a great position for me, so I repositioned a few times just to make sure that when he whirlwind back and forth, I could hit him more often. And there we go. Strange choice of very, very red text there. I think they've done a good job reinterpreting that. And of course the bones here, the most important bone there is Madok. He would otherwise underpowered, but had an extremely big, I don't even want to tell you what that is, but it was the biggest. And these are barbarians, man. They're normally pretty big. But that was unfathomably big. A leviathan among anacondas, honestly. And that's why he was given a position as one of the greatest. And of course, no drama whatsoever. Had no issue whatsoever. Very quiet. I definitely didn't panic at any point. I wasn't terrified. But yeah, found level 2 very quickly. And a super rare find. Look at this. A hero. It's not super rare. But a hero. We will never know how powerful he could have been. Because he decided to throw himself. Explode. And then just a little further up. Champions as well. It's a huge amount of these. What are they? Frenzied ice spawns. Not a great name for them, I'll be honest. Not a very catchy name. Very, very endangered species here. Just make sure the 3 of those take their own life. We're here, guys. We're in the throne. Death Lords. We're doing enough damage. And we've got the tank. I'm not that concerned. And of course we can get a hero to completely screw me over here. With fanaticism or something. But only time will tell as we explore the depths. I'll speed through this, because what we really want to see is what the wave's going to be like. And with Flame Maim, what Valkyrie here you can see was like when cursed by those Hell Witches, really did suffer. Very good regeneration, health regeneration. You can see here already regenerating health. Some clutch resummons coming through as well. So wave 1, Calenzo. I can't get too close to Calenzo. Ideally I'd leap over and just start throwing some spears right in his face. Baal has got that absolute pain in the arse. Curse, of course, the Crepify. So I need to do this at something of a distance. If we can clear maybe some of these fallen out the way, hopefully Baal will throw the curse on the Valkyrie. And this is a great spot. Stone Skin has honestly been a bane of this run. Because the amount of javelins I normally lose, no drama. With something of so few hit points. And annoyingly, when the warp ones decide to run away in their cowardice, they often find me. And no, that's a really decent resummon as well. I'm not sure the Valkyrie really needed it. But it's great to be able to start the next wave with a full health one. And we've got to get rid of this dross in the front here. These skelly boys. Valkyrie is extremely slowed down. Whoa, there is some damage being output there. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to save them. I think we're going to have to do the old classic. Pull the skelly boys in. Smash them to pieces. I think even here they probably struggle to resurrect them. We have had it, so one of the Unravelers, I think maybe it was Achvel himself. He decided to walk into that little pit of skelly boys that I killed outside of this room. Now ideally, we'll be able to resummon. Yes, okay, very, very lucky there. We want a Valkyrie for the beginning of the wave. And with our skill, because the experience of this is often fantastic. Maybe I threw that points away, putting in some vitality. Bartok taking some pretty decent damage, of course, immediately heals it back. It's good to know that it might not take too long to take him down. And actually, individual council mode, yeah, I would regret that as well. Aura, I'm not a great fan of. Thankfully, they're not super aggressive. They don't love just piling in. So Fanaticism isn't the worst aura to be suffering against. I think we're just going to tank through this. I'm just a bit worried about getting peppered from behind. We can just get behind this pillar. And once the council members start dropping, morale goes up. Because I know, with this wave out the way, even if the next two waves are really tough, we can normally just pull them out. Draw them out into this zone. Baal, once they're out of sight, just checking I'm recording there. There's always a little bit of a concern that I've got so far into something and just hadn't been recording any of it. I'll keep that in just for to make you feel my pain. Imagine. I don't know what I do. I think I probably would just have to restart. I don't want to do that. So when enough Venom Lords are killed, and we're on the cusp now, Valkyrie almost dead, you can see actually they're not doing enough damage to her to offset her health regeneration. Oh, Dusk Shroud there. I don't know even if that was unique, if I'd be able to use it. I think it would be pretty pointless and probably upset me quite a lot. Especially if it was like +3 to Blizzard or something. So dinosaur time. The minions. We are doing pretty decent damage. As long as the Valkyrie stays alive. And here, Lister. What is he doing coming out on his own? You always get cocky when you've got your friends around you. Get you on your own. Overconfident. Drunk. High. Young, dumb, and full of cum, as they say. So with our... I'll gloss over that, where that came from. Wildstone Chamber. We are at the end of a very long endurance session here. Well, for me anyway. Well, it's 2-hour-long videos, so for you too. I think maybe 15% of you stay to this point. I know if the quality of the video has been good enough to warrant that many, but thank you for sticking to me at this point. We are stuck in this room with Baal until he dies. At a certain range, Baal will actually still throw spells at anyone in the room, anyone he can see. So even though you've got a tank, it's never guaranteed. And he summoned his clone, and pretty early on. We've got a few decent hits off. I've really struggled to find, in the heat of battle, determining which is the clone and which isn't. And even if I know, you're just going to get pelted with that cold over and over again. Luckily in this kind of position, if he gets trapped around there, you can throw it over the chasm. I need to take these festering appendages out. It really is a kind of endurance war, this. I need to be really careful not to take too much damage. Given the amount of damage he's taken so far and the amount of potions we've got, I'm semi-concerned, I'll be honest. We're still looking okay. And this was a really good position here. For whatever reason, he just stuck around for quite a long time. You can see how often I'm missing, though. Actual chance to hit is probably not too bad, maybe 60-70%, but he has a chance to block. So even when you get through, he has a final chance to negate that. So we're maybe only hitting him 30-40% of the time. Little like jump and excitement there, straight up. It's weird when that happens. And he's down for the count. Jaden Braden, a man I've grown to hate. Man, this is a fantastic feeling at this point in the run. You will only have seen, and again, you probably saw a lot of it. Let's just check this out. Oh my god, that is terrible. Compact. I want it to be extendable. I want it to be oversized. Give me a massive one. Oh my god, eyes and hearts as well. Justice. I'll just put that where it belongs, just chuck that over the edge. The rest of it, unfortunately, not very useful for anyone. But man, look, just super relief to be able to done. I don't really know what to do now. Normally I'd go somewhere and chill out. I can't go to a bar. They're not going to let me back into town. We have done what I thought at one point was not going to be possible. Some huge amounts of attack rating there, and still, I mean, I'm not just used to playing a melee character. But decent dexterity, strength was actually pretty good, vitality was okay. We can easily take this into hell. I will not be doing so. Ended up at level 57, which is very respectable. Some decent resist as well. I mean, look, once you start adding in that extra +1 skills we get, got decent fire, lightning and cold resist, and this is without any scrolls. We'd have another +20% at this point. Average shots hit Baal there actually 48%, so lower than my original estimate. Base level, battle orders, level 4 up to level 7, and battle command at base level as well, lasting about a minute and a half. Base stats and everything other than natural resistance, which I just love. I mean, you can see what level it. I mean, of course I don't have it at this level because I don't normally have a sword and shield out. Not much here. Leap attack, absolutely clutch. Must have. Double throw, base 20. So at 20, or at least at 23, 200% extra damage, which is almost a necessity, right? Colwyn's Point, I don't think I showed myself finding that. And Lidless Wall, so +2 skills on those guys. Rock Stopper, great find. Still got that replenish life one. Just so useful just to, you know, get my life back without having to use a potion. The Valkyrie, overpowered. Two I consider to be pretty decent rings. I mean, if that poison resistance was fire, and in this one, maybe if it had some life instead of that energy, that would be fantastic. Belt needs an upgrade, let's be honest. And these two, I mean, actually, look, it's got some resists, it's got some dex and faster run walk. And actually some magic fun on that as well. Otherwise, almost useless. But at least I don't have to repair it, right? Fiend Bolt Pilot, very decent max damage there. +1 to 2 cold damage was actually really, really good. Gotta say, it's a great addition. Interesting, almost the same charm there. Some more poison damage there, +5 magic find. Yeah, some of those charms aren't great. And with limited inventory, maybe that 25 life Grand Charm could have been dropped for 3 more potions. Where else to go at the end of the run, right guys? At this point I wanted to emulate the idea that I'd unburden myself of my equipment, but I was so terrified of losing any of it. For whatever reason, just a random disconnect or something. I don't know. A random crash. All too terrifying. But we did it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm not sure how much I love doing the nightmare runs as much as I like the normal. I feel like this is quite similar to the normal run I've already done, with a lot more farming. Probably took me 4 or 5 times longer at least. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly didn't. But I'm glad we can conclude Jaden Braden's story somewhat. Now he's happy in his shack in the middle of the barbarian wilderness. I'm sure your list of names compares exactly to mine. Spinespawn, definitely a winner. Gloomdurel I actually quite like as well. Let me know what you thought of the video, guys. What other games, runs you want to see, and hopefully catch you in the next one.